Hey guys, so to start with, I did my hair and makeup today because I am exhausted and I'm trying not to look exhausted. So I guess the cat's out of the bag, right? Anyway, I wanted to do a video on the biggest hindrance that I see to healing, and that is ego, the ever-present ego. And when I say ego, the definition that I'm using doesn't mean just having a big ego, although that's definitely part of it. I mean anything that causes a separation from the realization that we are all connected. So that could be a whole variety of things. That could be thinking that you are superior to someone. That could be thinking that you're inferior to someone. That could be judgment. That could be lack of forgiveness. That could be holding on to things that don't serve you. That could be a lot of different things. So, we'll talk about the most obvious one. Having a big ego, which usually encompasses thinking that you are superior to someone. And, that's an obvious separation from the whole. Everyone at all points in their life has something to teach and something to learn. Everybody is here to teach and to learn, and everybody here is healing from various stages of things in their life. And if somebody tells you that they're healed and they're only here to teach, then grab your wallet and run, because they're selling something. The other thing is looking at yourself in the mirror and thinking that you're not good enough. That's something that we as empaths, a lot of us struggle with. And I had to come to the realization, and it's a struggle every single day, because a lot of us are conditioned to think that we're not good enough. In my household, that was, growing up, that was like a constant thing that I was fed. So it's a lot of reconditioning that goes into that, and a lot of steps that I have to take to heal that in other ways other than mental reconditioning. So every time that I think to myself, you're not good enough, you can't do this, I have to remind myself that every single thing that I have been given is not of me. It is part of the divine plan for my life. It's not me. It's not mine. It's part of my soul path to help other people. And even if you're an atheist, go in the bathroom, look in the mirror, and say, you are the only person who has time to worry about you. This is not a soap opera. I found that that's a tactic that works with me. And even if people are worried about you, and you're the topic of gossip, realize that 90% of the time when people are talking and they have something to say, it's because of an unhealed wound in them. People usually react to other people because of problems with their own ego. People react to other people because of spiritual mirroring. They will look at you and they will see something in themselves that is either a deficit or an unhealed wound, or something that is being reflected in you that they don't like in themselves. it very rarely has to do with something in you that you've actually done. If it is something that you've done, then take ownership of it and apologize and handle it head on. But don't ruminate over it and don't turn it into a big thing. Just do what needs to be done. So we've handled superiority and inferiority. And then there's judgment. Judgment is separation from the whole as well, and that's ego. Everybody on this earth is here to learn. So when you point the finger outward at somebody else, when you also are someone who is here to have something to learn, what does that say? You're no better than they are, and they're no better than you are. Judgment is also reflective of a deficit within the person who's doing the judging. Because instead of looking within themselves and saying, why am I pointing the finger outward? It's really reflective of some kind of like lack within here. Because nobody that has peace within themselves needs to point outward there. Judgment is another vibration of anger, is what it comes down to. And it's usually externalized anger that usually needs to be focused inward. Not the anger part needs to be focused inward, but there needs to be some kind of reflection on what is lacking within that makes the person point outward. So that's a wound that needs to be healed. There's also lack of forgiveness. That's ego as well, hanging on to something, because if the person feels like if they let go of it, they're going to hold on to, they have to hold on to some kind of righteous indignation. They have a cause to fight for. I see this a lot with politics. It's a cause. It's bigger than me. It's, few things are bigger than you that you're here as a soldier to fight for. At least not in the sense that you have to hang on to it, that it's not worth building a bridge and trying to solve the problem over. It's ego if you feel like you have to hold a grudge over it. All of these things are things that are hindrances, and they actually cause blocks in your aura that stop you from progressing onward in your ability to heal. So I wanted to bring them up because they are things that I've been through. So always examine if you're running into the same thing over and over and over again in your life and they're preventing you from progressing forward. Always examine and say, oh, well, this is something that I'm running into. It's some kind of block. And if it's something that you're experiencing externally in your life, it's usually something that's reflected in your inward life. So look at what you're doing outwardly that is reflected inward. And that's usually how you solve it. Heal that wound. I hope that this has been helpful. If I can help you with anything, please let me know. Have a beautiful day, and I will speak to you soon.